Hello and welcome back to Throttle Up. Now today we are going to review the Skoda Kushaq style variant, which is essentially the topmost variant of the Kushaq's lineup. But before we get started with the review, I have to thank the courteous staff and the amazing managers at the Berkeley Skoda Industrial Area Phase 1 Panchkula. You can visit this showroom to have access to all the Skoda cars, test drive them, look at them. Since they have all the variants, the cars are in impeccable condition, very clean, and the staff will guide you through all the features and the offers that Skoda has to offer. So now without further ado, let's get straight into the review of the Skoda Kushaq. Now the Skoda Kushaq comes in 4 variants, namely Active, Ambition, Style and Monte Carlo. This is the Style variant, which has a 1 litre TSI engine with a manual gearbox, although it does come in automatic as well. So you get 1 litre TSI with both the transmission options, and you get a 1.5 TSI also in the Style variant itself with both automatic, which is a DSG unit, and a manual gearbox as well. This specific variant, the 1 litre TSI manual, comes at an ex-showroom of 15,30,000. Looking at the front profile, it does get the chrome surrounds across the grille, and the grille itself is half closed and half open with this piano black surrounds, which look really good. These are slat designs just like in the other Skodas. You get a metallic finished skid plate and the air dam, which is open for ventilation of the engine. It looks really nice, and this design is sort of timeless. It will not get outdated. You get a projector LED setup with this LED DRL with the halogen indicator. This is the DRL. This is how the headlamp looks like when it's lit up. You get halogen fog lamps, typical Skoda like LED DRLs, and LED projector with these 4 chrome lines inside which reflect the white light, making these headlights oh so gorgeous. Below you get this hexagonal plastic web light design with these chrome boomerang surrounds as well, which look nice and add to the overall design of this car, which is again has a lot of cuts. It's not curvy, it has very straight line kind of design. Now coming to the heart of the car, it is powered by a 1 litre petrol TSI engine which produces a max power of 115 PS and a max torque of 178 Newton meters. This is married to a manual gearbox which is 6 speed. You get a decent amount of plastic covering on that engine which looks neat, so it's not cluttered. Now there's no insulation on the bonnet, but the bonnet is really heavy, so that might reduce the cabin noise inside. But yeah, there is no visible insulation as you can see. Now coming back to the specifications, the 1.5 on the other hand produces a max power of 150 PS as opposed to the normal 115 PS, and a max torque of 250 Nm as opposed to the normal 178 Nm in the 1 litre TSI. So that was for the specifications. Now coming to the side profile, it's kind of smaller as compared to the Creta, Seltos, the Harrier or even the Grand Vitara. The length is 4225 millimeters and the wheelbase is 2651 millimeters. Now Skoda has played with a lot of chrome elements when you look at the side profile and the alloy design as well. So now specifically if you look at the fender, you do not get indicators on the fender as you get in the ORVM. You get Skoda written right there with a chrome boomerang surrounds of sorts. You get proper black plastic cladding running across the bottom. You get a 205/55R17 with disc brakes and calipers as well, and you get a rather different looking alloy design as well, which is kind of like a ninja star maybe. You get body colored ORVMs with turn indicators, no puddle lamps on the ORVMs. The door handles are very typical Volkswagen Skoda with the usage of both chrome and the body color. You get request sensor on the door handle as well. There's a proper chrome line running through the door sill till the very top. You get roof lines which are also functional. I don't know the capacity of them, but there's space between the roof and the roof rail. You get a shark fin antenna as well. The roof rail is finished in silver. The fuel lid is on the right side and it is kind of like a parallelogram design with the door cut running across it. Now onto the back. Now the very first thing that we can say about this design is that it's very Skoda-like, as you have seen in the previous Skoda cars as well. You get Skoda written right there with a lot of spacing in between those letters. You get a Kushaq badging as well with this chrome garnish on the tailgate. Now, again, it's not in your face and it's not very fancy, but it is exactly like what you would expect when you're buying a Skoda or any other car of Skoda for that matter. You get a stop lamp in this spoiler kind of design. You get rear defogger and rear wiper as well. Skoda badging as I mentioned with this chrome garnish which is specific to the style variant. You get rear parking sensors and rear parking camera as well with this plastic yet silver diffuser of sorts. You do get this hexagonal web design on both the sides, but the real exhaust is at the bottom. So those hexagonal web like design on both the sides might be a fake exhaust which Skoda is trying to mimic. As for the tail lamps, you get halogen unit for the entire thing. This is a halogen which lights up in the night. When you turn on the headlamps, this is halogen, the turn indicators and the reverse lights. So no LED treatment whatsoever. These are the reflectors on the bottom. So the reflectors are very coherent to the overall design of the tail lamp. It seems like it's an extension of the tail lamp itself. Also, that's a really nice touch which Skoda has done. Now let's open the boot of the Skoda Kushaq. Now it does not get any power tailgate function, but it does have an electromagnetic button. So you have to pick it up manually. This is a 3D 5 liters boot. There you can see the jack and the first aid kit. So there's no dedicated space, which is kind of a miss. You do get a 60/40 split as well. There is a halogen lamp with a 3 kg hook to like hook your stuff in. You do get those hooks on both the sides. Now the wheel which you get as the spare wheel is of a 16 incher instead of a 17 incher which you get for the other 4 wheels. So that was for the boot. The boot is very squarish, but the loading lip is kind of on the higher side. Although the boot space is adequate, but it's still smaller than its competitors because the overall size of the competitors like the Creta and the Seltos is higher. So obviously the boot space has to be higher. Now coming to the rear seat of the car, opening the doors, they are very sturdy, very heavy. You get all plastics on this car. There's not much use of leather when it comes to the door pads. And it's majorly black with just a tad bit of white on those door pads also. Now that's hard plastic. This is also hard plastic. That is the only piece of leather that you get on the door handle itself. The grab handles are finished in plastic. The button is finished in plastic. This is a mesh design which intertwines with the speaker design, so I like it. This is simple plastic, but a lot of space for the bottle holders. This white bit is also on the plastics, but this door handle is what takes the cake. It's so nice to use. It's very sturdy, very nice chrome used, and there's this matte finish, dotted finish just at the backside of that handle, so I really like that. Now onto the seats, a good recline angle. These are finished in leather since this is the style variant. You do get this orange stitching across the seat, which I really like. That to this dual appeal of that upholstery with this grey, black and orange tinge. So there are 3 colors majorly used. Now the first thing I notice while I'm seated in the seat is the legroom and the cushioning. The cushioning is spot on. The knee room is adequate and there's this elevation in the floor at the back of the driver's side which gives a very nice angle to my feet as well. Now as for the thigh support, it's really nice. Nothing you can complain about, and I'm 5 feet 9 inches, my entire thigh is supported and I do not feel uncomfortable at all. The recline angle is surprisingly really nice. You do get adjustable headrest even for the middle seat as well. The headroom is in plenty, as you can see there. That's the middle seat headrest. You also get the armrest with 2 cup holders which are a bit on the smaller side, but that's all finished in leather just like your leather upholstery normally. You do get the AC vents which have a piano black finish, and you get 2 Type-C USB sockets as well. The plastic is sturdy, very premium, and you also get this brushed aluminium for your sliders and your adjustability for the AC vents as well. Now it's a very small attention to detail, but I love how they've created the space for the grab handle, so I really love that touch. As for the cabin lamps, you do get these LED lamps, twin LED lamps which are white and LED in design. You get these fine looking buttons which are also really sturdy and nice to use. Now as for the dashboard, this is how the dashboard looks like. Very conventional, very Skoda-ish, but nothing which is an eyesore and nothing which you can really hate about. So I love that. And again, it's a very Skoda-ish, very elegant, very classy design. So that was for the back seat. In my personal opinion, the Skoda Kushaq's backseat is a really nice place to be in. Even if you look at the hump right there, it's also negligible. So even the middle passenger would really be comfortable. So almost spot on. So the back seat of the Kushaq is a place to be in. Now coming to the front of the car, you open the doors, again very sturdy, similar treatment just like you got in the back doors. I love this dotted treatment with those piano black surrounds around the door handle as well. Very nicely done with this proper different cut on the door handles. This is plastic, that's also plastic. You get 4 electric power buttons. This is leather, that's hard plastic, bottle space with this string also in the bottle hood as well. Manual adjustability for the seat as for the backrest and the height adjust, which is kind of a disappointment since this is the topmost variant. You get a proper dead pedal. This is not openable, so there's no cubby hole. This is for the headlight adjuster and the headlight leveler, just like in your every Skoda car pretty much. Now these AC vents might definitely divide the people into love or hating this AC vent design. I am personally not a fan of this because I love horizontal ones better, but again, to each their own. Now seated in the driver's seat of the Skoda Kushaq, this is the steering wheel and the instrument cluster that greets you. You get an engine start stop button for the style variant, which is exclusive to the style variant in fact. The instrument cluster is analog with a black and white TFT MID in between. Now to control the MID, you get two options in the front, just right after your instrument cluster, and on the steering wheel on the right hand side as well. Now the tachometer is on the left and the speedometer is on the right. These are the buttons to control your service, to look at the time, to set the times, and the normal MID screen. This is to set and reset the odometer. The other functionalities of the MID are controllable by the steering wheel itself on the right hand side. Now the steering is finished in leather, which is really nice. You get a two-spoke steering just like other Skoda cars. This is matte plastic with a chrome surround running across the steering wheel, which gives it a premium appeal. Now for the left buttons, you get the infotainment buttons, and for the right, you get MID buttons and the MID scroller function. So this is how you change the windows in the MID itself. This is how you scroll through different pieces of information. From setting a vehicle settings to radio to phone connectivity to seeing your range, that is all you get on the MID. Now to scroll, you get simple distance to empty, your range, odometer, all of that settings can be controlled through the scrolling button on the right. Now this steering is adjustable for reach as well as range. The lever to do all of this is also placed at a very convenient location from the driver. The left stalk is for your cruise control and indicators, and the right is for your wipers, although you do get auto headlamps and rain sensing wipers in this variant of the Skoda Kushaq. Now coming to the dashboard, there are a lot of elements which Skoda has actually played around with, from hard plastics to metallic finish to this matte finish in the center itself. Now you get a 6-speaker setup with this 10-inch infotainment system, which also has a subwoofer in the back as well. Now the user interface is okay, it's decent. It's not very fancy, but you do get all the information. You get Skoda app features as well. You get driving information in this screen where you can see the driving range, the mileage and everything, even the TPMS is inside as well. Now it's all touch, there's no buttons to control the volume. The traction control function is also in the touchscreen as well. You can control a host of settings from the infotainment itself. Now the thing is that Skoda is discontinuing this 10-inch screen and coming up with an 8-inch screen in the Slavia and the Kushaq as well, with touch buttons on the sides and 2 rotary dials. I am not able to show you that one since this is an older test drive car and all the newly manufactured cars go to the customers for delivery. Skoda claims that this is because of the chip shortage, and this move would be able to streamline their supply. The features and the user interface of both the touchscreens remain very similar, so nothing to worry about. So for the AC vents, you get chrome surrounds running across the AC vents. A very ordinary looking AC vent setup, but nothing in your face, so I appreciate that. You get ventilated seats in this style variant. The door lock function and the hazard lamp function buttons are also right there. You get touch sensitivity controls for the AC controls, which are not as intuitive as the rotary buttons are, but nonetheless they are very simple to understand and you can control them easily if you get used to them. You get electric charger and wireless charger with a 12-volt socket. You get 2 USB type sockets as well. So you get the 6-speed manual gear knob right there, finished in leather. You also get this chrome surround with a piano black in the center console, which looks really nice. This is all leather, so I appreciate that. There's a space to keep your key in because that is all the space that you can use it for. The key fits rather perfectly well, as you can see, so that's that. Now coming to the handbrakes, there's no electric handbrake. You have to make do with the manual handbrake, and you get 2 cup holders which are kind of 3, but again bit of the smaller side. You get sliding center console and a decent space to keep your stuff in. No cool function or any wireless charger or anything like that. Now coming to the glove box, it's all hard plastic. You get the cool function, as you can see right there. It's all plastic and there's no lamp as well, so, and kind of on the smaller side. Coming to the dashboard, which I have been literally dying to talk about. Now you get hard plastics across the dashboard, but you get this 5-layer treatment. This is first, second, third, fourth and fifth. So there are 5 kind of treatments that have been done. So it looks busy, but still very coherent and nice. This is all hard plastic, but you get this metallic finish and with Skoda written right there. So it all comes together to form a very nice and clean looking dashboard. So now for sun visors, you get a mirror with no lamps on the sun visor. Or for the driver side, there is no lamp as well. Now on to the sunglass holder. There is no sunglass holder, but you do get lamps which are finished in white. So this is LED treatment. The button for the sunroof is right there in the center. You get auto dimming IRVMs in this variant of the Skoda Kushaq. Now it's not a panoramic sunroof. The blinds are manual, but this is a space that you get when the sunroof is open. It's a single pane sunroof, and you get the one touch functionality to close or open the sunroof. There's also the tilt functionality where you can just push the button and it'll tilt open just like that. So that's nice. The sunroof is overall nice, decently shaped and decent size, nothing too extraordinary. You do not get any sliding function for the seat belts. Adjustable headrest, very nice bolstering. Again, same 3-color treatment on the seats as well, with grey, black and orange stitching. Very nice cushioning. I love the cushioning on these cars. Since this is the style variant, you also get 6 airbags, side airbags, curtain airbags, and obviously 2 in the front. You also get the auto dimming IRVM as I just mentioned, and that's exclusive to the style variant, which is essentially the topmost variant of the Skoda Kushaq. Now technically the Monte Carlo version is still higher than the style variant, but that just offers cosmetic features and nothing additional as compared to the features that you get here. So this is all that you would need when it comes to the Skoda Kushaq. Now there is a lot to be said when we talk about whether you want or rather should buy the Skoda Kushaq style variant. The one thing that we have to realize is the ambition variant, which is basically one down from the style variant with the same TSI engine and the same transmission, is around 2,30,000 cheaper than this variant. Now obviously you get a lot of features which you would not get in the ambition variant, from the sunroof to the leather upholstery, ventilated seats, all LED headlamps, engine start stop button, and even other functions like the wireless charger which you wouldn't get in the ambition variant. So the style variant has a lot of features which it offers for that premium, but you have to be okay with spending additional 2.5 lakhs ex showroom to get all of those. Now compared to the other competitors like the Creta, Seltos, they offered the similar features at a much lesser price. But again, the build quality which Skoda offers and the engine, the driving dynamics which the Skoda offers are unparalleled. The only thing which would come close in terms of driving dynamics and the engine performance would be the Volkswagen Tiguan, because it's essentially built on the same platform. Build quality you can get in the Tata Harrier or the Safari, but then again they are of a different segment and they would cost a lot higher than the Skoda Kushaq. Now in terms of the options that you get in the same variant, if you have to go for the automatic instead of the manual, you would have to shell out 1,70,000 more for the exact same car. Just transitioning to automatic would cost around 170. If you want to transition from 1 liter to 1.5 in the manual itself, it would cost around 1,80,000 as compared to a manual 1 liter TSI. If you want to go for the 1.5 TSI with an automatic, you would have to shell out 3.5 lakhs extra than what you would have to do for the 1 liter manual. So that's quite a jump. Now according to me, if one has to go for an automatic in the Skoda Kushaq, one should go with the 1 liter TSI instead of the 1.5, because the 1 liter TSI automatic is a torque converter instead of the DSG system that you get in the 1.5 automatic. The reason I'm saying is because the torque converters happen to be more reliable than the DSG transmissions which Skoda offers. Now if someone is upgrading to a 1.5 TSI in the same variant, the basic assumption would be that they are doing it for the performance and the driving pleasure that it brings to the table. And if that is the case, one should definitely opt for a manual, because that is where you can extract the performance which that engine has to offer. So, and you can also obviously save yourself quite a few bucks if you do not go for an automatic in the TSI. So that was a review of the Skoda Kushaq style variant 1 liter TSI manual. Do let us know in the comments what do you think about the car and whether would you buy one if you had a budget of around 15 lakhs. Don't forget to like the video if you appreciated this review, subscribe to our channel and keep watching Throttle Up.